and welcome to Power to the Peaceful. We're going to do a little bonus channel today because we've got so many things coming up astrologically and so many emotions in the field. I think I said this recently, February feels like 2 months in one. I actually said to Abby the other day, the year of February, because it feels like it's been a whole year to me already. So it's a big, packed, month, and we're going to talk a little bit about it today. I've got a bunch of friends on here, and they have all different talents and areas of expertise, and we're just going to ask the guides some questions. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I'm going to go ahead now and bring the guides on in. Good. And as we came in, Angie was panicked because she didn't introduce her friends to all of you. So we shall do this now for her. Ha! We are here as the Galactic Council, as you might know, and we channel through our beloved being here, Angie. On this call today, we have our beloved Abby Duckwall. We also have Carol Morin, a dear old friend of ours from so long ago, and we still have her so much in our hearts and lives. And so we are very happy to have her here on this phone call and this Zoom call today. We have our dear friend Molly and our other dear friends from Fairy and Flame. We have Kasey and Katherine. Yes, so we are all here today, and this is our introduction to all of you. And we are here. They have asked to ask some questions of us, and we have come through today at this time to do so. Yes, we want to start this channel today, actually, by saying to all of you in this moment in time to please, let's all take a beautiful collective deep breath in, shall we? Good. Always good to start with breath. Breathing in. And exhaling as we go. We have a question for all of you who might be watching this today, and to the people on this call. We wonder today, what has brought you to this earth at this time? Do you know that you had a choice to come? Perhaps some of you feel like you just got here and said, what am I doing here? Strange place. Some people are here by design. Some people are here, they feel by accident. Some people feel it happened to them to be in this life and on this earth. But the truth is, all of you here on this planet had option to be here, and all of you chose to be here at this time. So this piece of information, we hope, will help you to feel a bit empowered at this time. Because the empowerment you see is what is needed at this time to understand your autonomy and your freedom. And what we want you to know is that if you can think about it, if your mind can create something in this world, it exists. Very important at this time. If your mind can create it, it exists. Think about what the mind can create for a moment. All of the television shows you might watch, all of the news clips you might see, all of the things that are good, all of the things that are bad are created by all of you, because your minds can do so. And you are not separate from your instant manifestations. So as you instantly manifest, your mind then begins to wonder, what else can it manifest? Take for a moment all the horrors you might be seeing on the news, and then flash on this walk for peace these beautiful monks are doing at this time. This is very dichotomous, yes? Opposite ends of quite a seesaw. So the mind can create both. The mind can see both. This is important for you at this time. You are here, not by accident, but by design, with a mind that can create anything. And what we want to do today is talk a little bit about how to connect your heart to your mind. But mostly, what is this heart of yours we have been talking so much about? Have you ever seen a stream running? Perhaps a crystalline stream running over rocks with the sun shining on it, dappled light coming through the trees. This crystalline stream is no different from your heart. It is pure, clean essence of source. And it vibrates, and it emanates, and it flows straight out to the multiverse, straight back to source. Your bodies are actually encompassed of every particle of this multiverse. You are not separate from it. You are made up of all of it. made up of the earth, made up of the stars, made up of all the elements that you see and some that you can never see. You are made up of all of it and you go straight to source. So being here, you are simply source energy that is experiencing itself in these different forms. A form called Carol, a form called Molly, forms called Abby, Katherine, Kasey, and Angie. Yes, on this call, and all of you watching, forms of source creating itself. And the things that happen out there that are what you might feel bad, horrors. We will talk about some of them perhaps, these horrific events that have been going on. This is just source experiencing itself in a delusionary state. Greatest issue on earth for all of you is the delusion you experience, keeping you separate from your magnificence. And so this is a great time of remembering, beginning with, you have chosen to be here. Your heart stream is crystalline and reaches every particle of this multiverse and back to source. And being in this heart stream can help you remember your true nature of magnificence. Good. We begin here now with questions. Who we feel would like to start out? Maybe we can call on you, but we feel Carol would like to maybe perhaps begin with something for us, yes?
Well, I feel like we're in the powerful eclipse window right now. It's been quite stimulating, electrical, magnetic. I can feel it kind of collectively. How do you feel that the unexpected is going to play out coming up in the next 6 months with all this Aquarian energy?
Yes, good. And we understand this question from you and your heart, yes. And so, good question. What we say, the unexpected will play out in many ways, as you can imagine. And what we want to show you is, if you have had a blanket that was folded up, perhaps a beach blanket, and you are unfolding this beach blanket, and as you unfold it, it gets a little bit wrinkled, and you continue to unfold, and then more wrinkles and unfolding, and more wrinkles and unfolding. And pretty soon, this beach blanket is much bigger than you imagined it being inside your bag. And this is what is happening at this earth at this time, you see. The unfolding of all of these unexpected events, what happens is they help to get out some of the wrinkles that were there. They help to expand your consciousnesses. They also help to unearth the underbelly that has been being hidden and that needs to have air and light shown upon it so that it can transmute, you see. So these unexpected events may come in the form of some interesting events with the earth. We have said some water events, perhaps. We have said some events in the financial markets, yes? But we don't want to scare you, and we don't want your minds to run away with what could happen, you see, because it hasn't happened yet. And when it does happen, we can assure you this. You will be ready, you will be safe, and it will be okay. Yes. So a little bit of a vague answer, but the question was a little bit wide. If you want to narrow it down, we are happy to become more specific with you. Yes?
The Mercury in Pisces energy is quite intense. It's going to be with us for a long time, something like 69 days. I feel like it's kind of like a mop-up after Saturn and Neptune have left the constellation of Pisces. I feel like Mercury's just cleaning up the messes and revealing more and more. And it's going to go back and forth for quite a while. How do you feel that that's going to play out?
We do see this, and we do remember talking with you about this, and it is good to revisit this because, yes, Mercury retrograde, revising and redoing and understanding what was perhaps learned but not understood, you see. It's like studying for your history test and memorizing the dates, but not really knowing what that means. And so this Mercury in Pisces will come through and it will help you remember to get all of it out of the closet and reveal it all. And so we see this in some of your political arenas actually coming to light with more and more unearthing. Some of the tabloids in your world might call it dirt, but what we call it is just compost, really. And so, what we want to remind all of you is so externally, when this comes out, remembering to not tune too much into it with your minds, because what will happen is your minds will want to seize on to the drama and the trauma of it. But if you tune back into your hearts, this is the best way, as we have said. And the Mercury in the Pisces could be an unearthing and a revisiting of some illusions, some confusions, some watery delusions, so to speak. And so, wherever your world might have been, wherever your minds might have been, wherever your understandings might have been delusionary or in sort of a dreamy space of not fully claiming, this may be the time to clean up some of that and start to reclaim and get ready for this fire horse, because this is about autonomy. This is about agency and freedom, remembering this. And as you go into this reclaiming and out of this state of dreamy, sort of watery, maybe one day the fantasy is, into this piece of right action, this will be what you're being asked to do. Does this make sense as we explained it to you?
Yes, thank you.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, guides. This is the Flame from Fairy and Flame. Always a pleasure. So there's been a lot of conversation around the year of the fire horse and how accelerated this energy is going to be, and how there's going to be all of these things, whether it's in transportation or technology or health or even plant medicine, like just acceleration of understanding, evolving, and things coming to light, right? Technologies, new technologies. It seems to be the year to manifest, right? Like if there was going to be something you wanted, it seems like this would be the year that everything's going to, like, you better know what you want, and you better be pretty specific. When you go onto social media or online, there's all these people who are, I would say, master manifestors giving tips or advice on what to do when it comes to manifestation, or how to do it right, or whatever. Maybe there isn't a right or wrong way, I'm guessing. But my question for you is, as we go into the year of Fire Horse, what do you suggest to be laser targeted in the way that we manifest, so that we can get what we want without this year expiring too fast on us?
Mm. Yes, we like your question because it applies to many of the humans downstairs here that we were watching. Yes, we are upstairs, up in the sky, and we see you here. Ah, good. So what we want to say around this idea of manifesting is this is a time where the veils are quite thin. If you think it, you can have it happen. It doesn't mean thinking about $1 million will pop into your lap. But what we want to say is you are creating more than you realize all the time. And you do it from your vibrational fields. And those fields come from what you are putting out, whether it is in your mind or your heart mind. So if your mind is putting out a lower vibrational field, then what is going to happen is you are going to manifest from a lower vibrational field. And so if you are saying, I want more money, but your vibration is low in fear and lack, and you are afraid you're not going to have enough money, you are going to manifest more fear and lack and afraid of not having enough money, you see? So you have just done a circle and bitten yourself in the butt. Does this make sense? Good. And so when you manifest from a place of the heart, and when the heart is involved, this manifestation will be much easier because it is a much higher vibratory field, you see. And so if your heart is saying, I want to create more abundance in my life so that my offering in the world can be received and then offered back to, so that I may continue more offerings in this world, then you are working from a different place and a different center, and this different center will bring back in more to you because the manifesting is being done from a higher vibratory field. Making sense so far? This year is around manifesting. What we want to say is so very many of you, and we hear from you often, want to stop suffering. Yes, of course, suffering is not fun to do, and it is something that has been wrought in the Earth's realm. And what we can say is the suffering that is coming out right now is all suffering from greed, actually. Greed has created much of the suffering. Some suffering is done, you might say, from people who don't have enough and they are not being greedy, but the ones who are not giving enough are the greedy ones, you see. And so you can pretty much trace all suffering back to greed at this time on Earth. And what we want to offer about this greed is that it is not serving anybody, not even the greedy ones who have more than the ones who do not. And so this is a time for manifesting what works most highly for the collective. So the individual is not so much in the spotlight at this time. The top-down structures that have been working so much on this earth are beginning to crumble, as you can see in your governments and in your banking systems and in your media. Yes, all of the top-down not working. All of the ones that have everything are starting to begin to understand that having everything is not having big bank account, but simply having everything is having a heart of humanity, is having a unity consciousness. And as they move into this, and as you all move into this unity consciousness, the manifestating will become much easier in this lifetime, yes? Because what you're asking for is not individualism. You're asking for unity, harmony, unity, peace, unity, wealth, unity, love, unity, good water systems, clean water systems, happiness on earth, good earth. Making sense?
Hello, lovely Galactic Council. This is the Fairy from Fairy in the Flame. I have a question. I've asked this before, but I thought it's good for anybody new that's listening, because I recently had a reading with someone who said that they picked up on you connecting with me, because before I go to sleep, I've been asking you for you to come in and help. So for anybody that wanted to work with you and connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
If anyone wants to connect with all of us, best way
Yes.
for them to connect with us is
Yes.
to watch some of Angie's channels with us on the videos that we put out, and they could also be part of the Q&A that Angie puts out with Molly and Abby. And once they meet us and have an experiential piece of feeling our vibratory fields, they can then ask for our help. Yes, but being specific as always, because many galactic guides out there, and we want to make sure if they are asking for us, they ask for the right ones. So Angie's galactic guides, can you come and help us? But we do ask that they meet us first, yes, and have an experiential piece of our vibrational fields, and so can be done via video or on the live Q&A, even better. Yes, good.
Yes. So they start having a relationship with you, learning more, and then it's easier to connect with you.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Question. I believe Carol touched a little bit on the Mercury in Pisces and that retrograde. As we all know, and those of us that have been, tuning in with astrology and following it, we understand that we have these really big galactic alignments that are happening, along with, coming into the year of the fire horse, along with this big solar eclipse. And I was just curious if the guides could elaborate on what are some intentional pieces that we can be doing at home as we're navigating these energies. Lots of astrologers, and perhaps if Carol would like to speak to it, of these different energies that are being illuminated right now by all of these celestial bodies in the sky. But what are some intentional pieces that the guides could, what you all could help us with during this transition?
Yes, good. Big transition, yes, and want to speak with Carol a little bit more about this big transition next. But what we can say is your nervous systems are on the chopping block, so please do take care of them, yes. And this best way we find for human beings to take care of nervous system is to not overstimulate it with too much caffeine and too many stimulants, but also to go outside. go outside onto the earth and remember you can make a small fire as you did last night, Abby, and then you can walk around with your bare feet on the earth, and you can take walks in the woods or walks through nearby forests, or you can take walk on beach or just walk through a city, but walk, make sure moving body, make sure doing some movement exercises, make sure you are working with your breath. Your breath is such a conduit for you, and you do not realize this as humans. Some of you do talk about the breath, but you do not realize what it actually is. It is God force. Yes, it is creator force, creatrix force moving through your body. So each breath in allows you to remember you are part of this multiverse. You are breathing in particles of this multiverse and of source energy into your lungs, and you are exhaling it out, and you are connecting as you breathe in and exhale, not only to the earth, but to all of the multiverse. And so this will naturally calm your nervous system. Why? Because it reminds it of who it is. It reminds you of who you are. Breathing reminds you of who you are. You see, if you were gone from this earth, the earth would feel, the energies of this world would feel your absence. You do exist. Remember, you exist. And without your existence, there would be a hole. Whether you were not of this earth or not of this other realm that you might be from does not matter. Yes? Existence. You do exist. And as you exist, you breathe. And as you breathe, you remember that you exist. And as you breathe and exhale, you remember that you are part of this earth. Yes? And so all of this is to say, this remembrance is calming to your nervous system. What is not calming to the nervous system is the outside chaos. And the stimulants that you might put into your body right now also could create problems in your nervous system. So be gentle with yourselves. You might have been able to have 5 cups of coffee last week, but this week might not be able to have much at all. Yes, that's as okay. Nothing is wrong with you, just changing to higher sensitivities, changing vibrational frequencies. This is the big shift that you are all going through. This is that liminal space going to shift now into a much different terrain that you were not prepared for, but could never be prepared for because have never known before. And it is simple frequency, making sense.
Thank you. And just one last thing, if there is one word that you could offer guides for perhaps this next month or so, what would that be?
Alignment is the word. Yes, aligning. And so it is the action verb. It is the understanding of aligning in the heart, aligning with the earth and aligning with Great Spirit, whomever you believe created all of this, whatever you believe created all of this. We'll call it source energy, aligning with source, aligning with earth, aligning in heart. These two energies align in heart. And once you align there, you are cooking with oil. You cannot be pushed over by the chaoses outside of you. You cannot be wrought with too much anxieties because you are aligning, right? And so continuing to bring yourself back into alignment, into the heart with the breath. Put feet on earth, breathe. Simple. But to do this, must get off of devices. Stop, put them down. They have no more information for you than they did 5 minutes ago. Understand that you are here. You exist. You breathe. As you breathe in source energy. As you exhale down to this earth and are part of this earth. Without you here, there would be a hole. And so you exist and you breathe and you align into the heart. And this is what is necessary at this time, most necessary, because you are moving into a new vibratory field. And this is what it feels like to do so. And all of the planets, as we talked to you and Carol about this the other day, all of the planets are not outside of you. They carry within them parts of you. You carry within you parts of these planets. And so when they square this or go into retrograde over there, or they align over here, what they are doing is pulling and prodding and poking you. And these are the updates that are happening at this time. And as they do so, you dream a different dream because you have let go of some of what is unearthed. Yes, and what is being unearthed in society at this time is deep compost from what the mind created and from greed that has run the world. And at this time, this greed is disintegrating. You are seeing underneath the greed. That is simple compost. And what is coming out of this compost is love and unity consciousness. So do not get caught in the blaming. Do not get caught in the greed. Not important. Go back to alignment. Good.
Council, it's Kasey again. So I've been thinking about how to ask this question. It's funny because I think it's a transitional question, but it might come off as a surprise to some people that I would ask this. But even if you set social media down, you can't get away from the conversation around the Epstein files right now. It's just really has everyone kind of engrossed in the drama and the the conspiracy of it. And I had 3 questions about it that are all kind of the same question, but I'm going to ask them all, and then the council can just decide which version of that they want to answer. So here are the 3 questions. What is the purpose of the Epstein files, and why have we called this in as a society? What are the purpose of the Epstein files for the collective right now? And are the Epstein files real? And I'm going to put real in quotation marks because I do understand that there's an element of reality that's different for all of us. So I just want to speak to that because I just don't think we can get away from it right now.
Good, yes. And we are glad you put the real at the bottom because we are clear to tell you that some of this is real and some of this is not real. And so we do not want you to put your detective hat on and try to figure out what is real and what is not real. We offer to you that none of this is going to help you update your vibratory fields. Yes? It is just coming out. It is just like big burp coming out of someone after they eat dinner. They burp really loud. It just happened. That is it. And many people will say, this is too horrific. We cannot look away from it. We have to learn from it. What do you have to learn from this other than this is not the realm that can create your peace and happiness and well-being? This is the realm of greed. This is the realm of darkness. This is not the realm for you. And so, yes, it is all over the media and it needs to be splashed everywhere so you can have a choice. What would God feel like to experience itself as being so far delusional from itself that it created all of this havoc and darkness? That's what this would look like. Does this make sense? Yes. So, what does it look like to not experience yourself as the divine creator, creatrix that you are? What does it look like to not experience that? It looks like darkness. It looks like separation. It looks like all of the things that you were reading on the media. And what we want to say is, we do not mean to admonish you for hearing it or listening to it, but we want to offer to you that it is not creating peace in your heart. It is not creating a sense of well-being or a high vibrational field. And it is horrific, yes, because the mind can think of it. If the mind can think of something, it can create it, remember. And some of this actually happened and some of this did not happen. And does it matter which was which? Maybe it's all the same place. Maybe you still get back to the all the same place. We think that you do. The mind is an interesting field. And so as you create this aversion and attachment to this darkness, you are creating a hook and you are going into low frequencies. And so it is not necessary for you to do so. You can say, this is perfect because we have to see what the mind is capable of creating. Now, if you say we have to see what people are capable of doing, your mind will immediately go to who did what. So be careful how you word that to yourself. We do not want you to put the detective hat on. So what you want to say is, the mind can create anything. And this is an example of that. And that is enough. And then you turn and you shift your focus to a focus of love in your heart for all beings. And the ones that are suffering, perhaps from being a part of this, one way or the other, whether they were victimized by it or whether they were the aggressors, they are still suffering. So move off of it, understanding it was created by the mind. And the realness of it doesn't matter. Simply to live in a different vibratory field. Does this understand? Do you understand this?
Yes, and it sounds like that could be applied to any kind of catastrophe or global theater or any other things that might be consuming your feed or consuming your mind, right? Like this is just another one of those horrible things, but there's lots of horrible things that are happening, right? So it's about how you redirect that energy. Is that what how I'm understanding it?
Redirecting the energy is very important. And when it comes to natural disasters and people suffering from these disasters, remember to send the energy from your heart. And remember to do this to all of these beings that are suffering. So, but what we say is if you try to send heart streams of love and gratitude and happiness to the aggressors, you might get caught in a loop in your mind and get stuck. So better to do it just from afar right now for where you're at, understanding that humanity as a whole has created a disease. And the disease is the sickness of the mind. And the disease is the sickness of the darkness attaching to the mind and creating itself over and over. And so you step away from that, yes? And you say, that is what happens when the mind is not connected to the heart. And so instead of going into the individuals who might be suffering, you send just the love overall to that entire event. But yes, to answer your question, overall, this is a really good way for humans at this time to just separate themselves, but also remain autonomous in the heart and send that stream to all the beings that are suffering everywhere they might be suffering.
Yes. Thank you.
Important not to get caught up right now, because your minds are just very, we want to say, vulnerable. Yes. And your minds are being attracted to old candy. And the candy is getting more and more worse. Yes. More and more clear this candy is toxic. But the mind is still a little bit addicted to it. So be careful what you let your mind eat.
Yeah, the philosophical part of me is appreciate your answer. Thank you.
A question that maybe Carol can talk about a little bit and then maybe help me form this. But I understand, I think that how we're heading into the spring and that April is a really big month. It doesn't, I think a lot's going to change after April from what I understand astrologically. Is that correct?
Well, Uranus is going to go back into Gemini. It's going to leave Taurus, and we'll never see Uranus and Taurus ever again in our lifetime unless we make it to 88. Well, no, it'd be even more than that because it'll be 88 years from now. So it'll be a long time from now.
Yeah.
So I think we're ending some really big things because the fire energy is going to bring in 3 Mercury. Mercury is going to be in the water signs 3 times this year. So I find that interesting with so much fire coming in that we're having the softening of the Mercury in the water signs. So yes, April is going to be a culmination of so many things leading to so many things happening in July. So the big event right now is this eclipse moving to the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which is what everybody's kind of waiting for when it hits the world point. What does that mean for the world? What does that mean for the World Galactic Council when Saturn and Neptune in the sky are going to be together, like in this fiery energy, Mars ruled? How do you see that?
You speak of this eclipse on the 17th. Yes, Carol.
Yeah, the eclipse and the conjoining of Saturn and Neptune in Aries at the world point, which is a very sensitive point in the constellations.
We see it like Saturn saying, remember why you came here. And we see it like Neptune starting out with all of the possibilities. And we see it at the 0 point of Aries saying, I am creating. And so what are you creating? And so we see creation of possibilities and remembrance of why you are here. This will break open quite a few people in their bodies, not meaning negatively, but it will break apart a lot of delusion. It will break apart a lot of greed. It will break apart a lot of old ways of understanding structure. It will break apart a lot of old understandings of what you came here to do. And it will break apart many delusions as well. Because if it were just Saturn and Neptune at another place, other than zero Aries, it would not be the same, you see, but zero Aries is the key here. The I am creation point of zero, beginning again. And that is what is so magnificent and strong about this time. And this is why nobody can quite tell you what this is, because it hasn't happened yet. And what will it be with this world? Well, we can see what it will not be. It will not be more of the same old order creating itself for greed. It will not be that at all. It will not be the same delusion that kept all of the people in the world suffering. All of that has to shift, and it is shifting, and it will immediately shift in the minds and hearts of the people. And then it will begin to slowly outwardly shift as each one gets it inside understanding.
Pam Gregory talked a lot about this year, everything changing from disclosure and like major connections to people's galactic lifetimes and their galactic families, and as well as connection to the elementals of the earth. And so, can you speak to that? What that might look like this year?
Yes, we see that so much of the structure that was keeping it all from coming through is breaking apart. Yes, we want to talk about the structure a little bit because we see it as a webbing over the earth. Yes, a webbing that was keeping things sort of, what is the word we want to use? Fuzzy for you, this fuzzy feel of not quite understanding. Certain people, like this Angie that we channel through, could see past this fuzz, but many people could not. Yes. And so as this fuzzy layer of webbing has been softened and as holes have been poked through it, and as it begins to disintegrate with all of the different astrological events that are coming your way, more and more people begin to send out their signals, and that signal bounces back to them from their galactic families, and they begin to understand that they not now, nor have they ever been alone. And this is a good feeling, yes, because the fuzziness was created to keep all of the people for these eons of years, millions and millions of years on Earth, in their place, you see, harvesting little slaves to do the different things for these different energies of greed. And what is happening now is this is all broken open because all of your hearts got together and prayed it into existence. And so in this sense, we congratulate all of you. Because the fuzzy webbing is now disintegrating, and you will begin to feel this year what you really are in the multiverse, which is actually connected to all of it, as we have said. You are connected to all that is. You are connected to Source that created everything. You are connected to your Earth and every planet and star system and dimension that there is. You are not separate. And so you will begin to understand the magnitude of this slowly as you can digest it. And it will come in waves. And so certain waves of people will get it and rise up. And as we understand them to be, the first lights that turn on and the first responders, and then other waves will rise up and understand. And in this way, the earth enlightens itself. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
Very exciting. The elementals are excited because they are over here going, what are we made of? Chopped liver? Have been here the whole time. Nobody noticing. Ha! But they are here. And as they begin to make themselves seen, and as you begin to see them, you have a greater harmonious relationship with the earth and the other realms through the elementals. Good.
Molly, I just want to say thank you for asking that question and just to kind of, write on that question a little bit, guys. I'm noticing just on a personal level, this embodiment of the multidimensionality. And I feel like it's deeply connected to everything that we're speaking about today on this Zoom call, as far as the different celestial bodies and these different alignments. Is that exactly like that piece, and even your pointing out of alignment and staying and remembering why we're here. But is it the veil that is bringing us more into that embodied multidimensionality that is transpiring, kind of like a flower finally unfolding and understanding that it's blooming?
Yes, exactly. The flower understands its purpose. It has always been inherent in the flower to bloom because it must. but one day it goes past the tipping point and embodies that I am, I must, and then does. Yes, and this is right where humanity is. Making sense? Because this veil lifts and you begin to remember, as we said at the beginning, that you came here by design. You choose this, you chose this, and here you are. You are not in the samsaric karmic cycle of existence and then rebirth and more rebirth of karma. This is the time period where this shifts and you begin to realize what you are and why you are here and how to do this in this way that feels more aligned with who you are and who you truly are and what you truly come from. Yes, you come from source. You will remember this source. You will remember. And as you remember, you turn your light on. And as your lights come on, more lights come on. And pretty soon, the darkest, darkest, darkest human, darkest, darkest, darkest being has no choice but to turn light on because all light floods around. Yes, and the lifting of this veil is what causes this. And we like your metaphor very much of this flower. Yes, good. It is true. I am coming in with the Aries energy. I am 0 point of creation. Yes, 0 point of Aries. Neptunian energy coming in is a little watery, fuzzy, kind of delusional, illusional, but also full of possibilities and dreams. And the structure of the Saturn coming in to say, just remember why you came here. What was it for? Remembering all of this and creating it anew. Good.
I had just it's a question, but also kind of a statement. And one of the things I love about the council is we talked about this on our last pod. Is there's a lot of simplicity in the messages, right? There's nothing too complicated that we have to do to kind of vibrate in those higher frequencies or get back to good. And so a word that came up this week was sacred simplicity, and moving into this year with this idea that as we're seeing all of these things kind of fall around us with greed and all of this, it's taken down some of the bigger names in the spiritual world with it. People that felt like maybe their only connection to the spiritual world was through this one person, right? And so I would love it if the guides could touch on, because we're going to go into the year of the fire horse, and it's going to be, there might be times we feel literally on fire. If you could speak to the sacred simplicity, because you're so good at that, and what are some of the things that we could do to like ground back in whenever things feel maybe a little fast, and why it's inside of all of us, and we don't have to do like take a big trip somewhere or pay a lot of money to have like these really spiritual experiences.
Good question. We like this one very much, and it gives us an opportunity to mention to all of you that any of these people on your earth that have informations for you that you feel are important, you actually also have those informations inside of you, which is why you know about these people outside of you with the information in the first place, you see, because you could not understand or even manifest the information outside of you if you did not have it inside of you. And so some of you have done this and put these types of people perhaps on a pedestal, and they do not belong there. We do not belong there. No one belongs anywhere except right beside you, holding your hand and clapping for you. These people are no more or no less than you. And what you understand now at this time of this fire horse and this 0 point of Aries of creation and the Saturn coming in to remind you, yes, is that simply put, you have all of this information inside of you and you will begin to remember it. And as you remember it, it is not for you to say, I know more than you, or I know less than you, or I am not enough. It is simply for you to say, quite frankly, I am. You do remember, you exist. Remember, we brought this into you in the beginning. You have chosen to be here at this time in existence. And just like this flower that Abby told us about, you have blossomed from the earth, defied gravity as you grew. And at this point, you remember your original intention for being here, which was to blossom, to be in your heart stream, and all of the informations that you need are inside of you. And so at this time, the healers that you might have put on pedestals may begin to fall because they are just showing you that you have it inside. You are showing yourself that you have it inside. Do not be disappointed. This was their path that they chose, yes? And so as you go into your heart that we were talking about, this heart stream of crystalline water, and it flows to all parts of this multiverse. Remember, this technology inside of your heart is actually everything you need at this time and ever will be or ever has been. This is all that you need, is to be in that heart stream. So get to know your crystalline energy in your heart, because it is where all things will manifest from now on. You will see it very quickly collapsing if people try to manifest from outside of their hearts and their ego minds. It will not work as quickly or as much, if at all, anymore, because that structure is collapsing. And so what remains from that is the crystalline energy of unity, consciousness, and love for all, and the earth and the multiverse, putting out something better by being a part of it. Yes, in your heart. Good.
Thank you so much. The fairy has one more question. I haven't thought how I'm going to say this, so I'm just going to go for it. But obviously, everything happens in perfect timing, and there was a lot of perfect timing with you connecting with Angie and coming through, and then we all connecting. And it is my understanding that you're here to help us, to help all of us, for us here, people that are watching, to raise our vibration and to make the world and us and everyone and everything in it better. So how can we help you, if you wanted to give us advice to make that happen? What other things that we can doing to make the vibration of this world and us and everyone watching better, and all collectively for us to connect and have a direct connection with you to make the vibration better?
Yes, good, good. Yes, good. Fairy, we like this question. And what we want to do on this call at this time, the closing moments, is to ask all of you to close your eyes and to breathe into your heart. Yes, this good and beautiful heart you were given from Source itself, this technology that came straight from Source heart. And you have particles of this inside of you. And as you breathe into it and know that it exists, the knowing of the existence of this crystalline heart energy in your center of your chest allows it to expand. And so focusing on this heart center allows it to become so. And as it becomes so, as it becomes its crystalline energy center, it begins to do what it was always meant to do and always for, which is to turn on and tune in to other heart centers around itself. And as it tunes into the other heart centers around itself, then more heart centers get turned on, you see. And this is what you can do for us. This is what you can do for all of humanity. And it tunes in not only to the humans, but to the four-leggeds and to the winged creatures and to the plants and to the earth and to the sky. And it tunes into the waters and to the fires, and it tunes in because that was what it was always meant to do, you see. And this is what you can do for us. You can breathe into this crystalline energy, the technology of your heart. You can always do this, and the more times you do it each day, the better your world will get. It will get better inside, and then the outside will shift into betterness. Yes? Good. Pleasure to be here with all of you on this precipice of this dawn of this new age inside of you. You see, so many people are looking outside, wondering what will it be like when these planets do this or that. The truth is they've already done this or that, and it has happened on the inside as well. So tuning in inside of you, tuning in to this new being that you are becoming, more and more, as we say, you will become able to see this crystalline energy in your heart center. It will not be an idea. It will not be a vision from your mind. It actually exists, and you will begin to live it. And as you live it, you see your world will shift. And this is the new human. It becomes unveiled from the inside, as if you were a big piece of clay and you have been whittling yourself into a structure, and all of a sudden you begin to widen back and see what you have actually created inside of yourself. And so you see, as this creation becomes manifest, what has to come first is the layers of gunk that get cleared off. And these gunk layers are clearing in front of you. Do not spend any time looking at what is being taken off of this clay structure and put onto the floor. It is old. Just spend time on the unveiling of what comes forth from within this heart center of yours, each individually and then connected to the whole. Yes? And so breathing in this information and exhaling it with deep gratitude, because you are this being that you have been looking out for. You are this planet that you were hoping would do this or that. You are all of that already. Yes? And everything you need is right there in that heart center. And so we say this and we say this again and again so that you begin over time to understand it's not just words, it is a felt sense. And more than a felt sense, it is a coming into being that you are all doing at this time. This is the great unveiling of this time, yes? More to come on this, good. And what we want to do at this time is to wrap all of your hearts up in a little golden thread of energy, healing, and light. And we want to send this out to anybody that might be watching this video. And we want to send heartstreams of love from our dimension to yours. And we want to now wrap a golden thread around this beautiful earth. And we hold it in the highest amount of compassion, integrity, love, freedom, and abundance. And we say to you, we are here and we are helping. We are allowing ourselves to be made at this time known to you so that you can have the support that you need to remember. And with all the love in our hearts, we say goodbye, but only for this moment in time.
Welcome back.
I don't even know what just happened.
It was amazing. Thank you.
I remember that I forgot to introduce everybody.
They did it for you.
I was freaking out. I was like, oh no.
It was perfect.
It was so good. So good.
Good. Good.
That was awesome. And you know what? I had it seems so simple, but I had like an epiphany during that session. The guides talked a lot about greed in this channel. And then some of you guys are gonna be like, duh, when I say this. But then in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, it was like a math problem. Lack and fear equals greed. And if we hold into those frequencies of lack and fear, what we're up against right now is greed. It sounded to me like the guides were saying a lot of this damage control is because of greed, right? And it's just proof that as an individual you hold so much power. So if you walk around all day thinking like, oh, I'm not going to have enough of this, and oh, I'm scared this is going to happen, that's going to perpetuate into greed. And collectively greed is why, I'm not going to say why we are where we are, but like in a sense why we are where we are. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's so true that making that connection of lack and fear too. Yeah, for sure. They share the same little elevator, lack and fear and greed, for sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
and we're just humans. I mean, I go into that too, But yeah.
It was really good too. Like Carol, I thought your questions, you didn't get in there as much as I was hoping you would get in there. Because a lot of what the guides were talking about, I don't know, I'm having my own personal experience. Of course, we all are, as to what these energies feel like internally right now and what's unfolding. And that's why I use the metaphor of that multidimensional. I said a flower, but it feels like this kind of spiraling into a whole different realm of understanding of why we're here and that relationship too, and everything is being exposed and falling away. And I liked your questions, Carol. That's why I was kind of nudging you to ask some more in that sense of like tying in that astrology, that beautiful information that you carry with this sort of this expression that's happening, and then with the help of the guides. But I thought it was really, really good.
I liked what they were saying about the 0 point of Aries being like that pure creation moment with the Saturn and the Neptune. Carol, did that make sense what they were saying with the Saturn Neptune 0 point Aries to you?
Yeah, it's because that's the point. It is the point of creation. It's the I am.
Yeah.
And it was just really hard for me to find my words after coming out of that meditation that I was just in. I was in a totally different mind frame
Yeah.
I was the other day.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah,
It is the point of creation, absolutely. And you described it in a way that was easy to understand. So
yeah, no, it was
nice.
perfect. I liked your questions. I thought they were perfect, and we did a bunch of it the other day. So we got you before the chud and after the chud. So that's good.
Right?
I'm chutted.
You should.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was good. That last question, who was it? I think it was either Catherine or Kasey asked a question, oh, about the spiritual healer or people falling from grace or whatever. Yeah, that was a good one too, because I think the guides really wanted to the feeling I got when they were talking was so much about, this unveiling that we're talking about with the new moon and the eclipse and then the huge alignment that's coming. So much of that is just going to expose, I think, this heart technology that we have. Like, to me, it feels like that's the exposure. Like,
Yeah.
that's the disclosure, and then
Oh.
and then as that comes forth, that disclosure, of what we really are inside, will be deeply connected to the outside as well. Because back in the day, I know we all might have thought there's just a big spaceship that's going to come and they're all going to come out and we're going to have help, and I don't know, over this last 2 years, it's really been clear that, like, we're the help and it's just this inside sort of unveiling.
Yeah. Ollie, did you hear that? Exposure is the disclosure.
Yes. Yeah, I did
That's
hear
a
that.
that's a meme.
That's a good
I
one.
love
That's a
that.
good one. Galactic Council, or Angie Arkin, I should say. That was an Angie Arkin one.
I'll probably forget. So
I mean, it's true though. Like one of our guests, Lisa Strickland, she sits on the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance, and I've had this conversation with her before because she talks so much about disclosure in this really like physical form, like they all do. It seems, like you just
yeah,
said, everyone's talking about it. We had this actually, we had a breakfast with her not that long ago, and I said to her, I was like, Lisa, I just feel like you guys, there's not enough discussion about the spiritual element of it or the unseen element of it or the vibrational element of it. And she wrote an article about this, about how more women entering the field of disclosure has kind of softened this conversation around like literally digging up a UFO out of the desert or some craziness like that. And
yeah,
so I love that exposure is the disclosure.
Because when you look at disclosure from the sense of like, yes, there's a spaceship that's going to come down. We're still viewing it from this old collective lens, which is
Mhm.
of the masculine, not masculine, negative masculine. We all are conditioned to view and perceive reality from this collective masculine lens.
Yes.
And what is happening is this coming back to the sacred feminine on a collective scale. Not that one is more than the other by any means, but it's coming from that understanding that it's going to come from within. That's the piece, the receptivity, the embodiment piece that will eventually, by the time we see them come down on the spaceship, it won't even
yeah,
matter
yep,
because
No,
it'll
we'll be
be
like,
so embodied. It'll be so normalized at that state by just this understanding of what we are and what we are not. And I think we're at the very beginning of understanding what we are not. And yeah, so like I love that you're having conversations with people, especially that are out there on the big stage in regards to these sorts of things, because um, yeah, those of us that play more in these realms, like deeply understand that because these realms are what is actually going to ground in and anchor these times.
well, and here's the kicker of it, Abby. The bridge has to happen. There's the bridge has not been properly built yet between the scientists and the spiritual community, or Hollywood and the disclosure, whatever it is. Like there's everyone's still kind of operating in a bit siloed.
that's
Yeah,
it.
it's really cool.
That's
It's good that
interesting.
you're asking those questions because those are like those are what's going to help ground this information in. It's what's
Yeah,
absolutely important.
Yes, for sure. And I do believe plant medicine will be a part of that
Yeah.
bridge connecting people. Duh.
yeah. So good. Well, it was really nice to spend the day.
Carol, it was so nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I've heard so many wonderful things about you.
Now she's gone.
I know we lost her.
Carol.
Carol,
Where's she going?
where'd you
Carol,
go?
I know she's been beamed up.
you pushed the wrong button, Carol.
We gotcha.
You did it.
I think I am in another realm today. For sure.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to make
Nice to meet you
trips to
too.
West. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Well-
Carol's really like, when we have astrology questions and things, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Carol, we might need to chat further.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Abby, quiet.
No, and she's been studying astrology, gosh, since I've known you, and I've known you for 20 plus years. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's funny, Carol, because we've actually asked the guys this. We asked the guys. I love astrology. I think it's like French. It's just beautiful. Anyway, but I asked the guys in one of our podcasts that we had if astrology was real, and so it was a very fascinating. Because I was like, there's like a lot of us who invest in it, and it was, I can't remember exactly what it was, Angie, but it was like, they said that it is a ball field that we're all playing on, but it doesn't mean you can't hit a home run. I think that was the analogy that they said. And I thought that was super fascinating because it's almost like anything else, right? It's this system that we're all inside of.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that we can't step outside of the system, right? Like it was.
Yeah, I think it's growing. I think it's going to grow as we grow, like Carol can probably speak to that, but it's always evolving because we're evolving, right? So our understanding of what's outside of us is based on what's inside of us. And yeah, if you want to say anything, Carol, about that.
I've studied it in so many different realms that it just keeps changing. And not the interpretation keeps changing, but the way that we perceive it is changing.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks for including us. Thanks for inviting us to do this, Molly.
Oh yeah, this was so fun.
That's
Thanks,
fun.
you.
When you
Yes.
do this more regularly.
Yeah. I love it.
Love it. I don't know. Maybe we'll get Carol back again. I hope so.
I hope we haven't scared you off.
I love you all so much. Thank